Welcome everyone back to Wrestling with Politics. My name is Joel Perez, and today we're once again going to be discussing Green Party candidate for president, Jill Stein. And once again, I wouldn't be discussing Jill Stein here today if it wasn't for the Democratic Party, who for the first time ever decided to release an attack ad against Jill Stein. And you know what this tells us Green Party voters? It tells us that the Democratic Party is really worried right now about the impact that Jill Stein is going to have on this election. And they should be. Because right now in key swing states like Michigan, amongst the Muslim voters at least, Jill Stein is leading both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And beyond that, there's a lot of voters who are tired of voting for these two corporate parties. They're tired of the genocide going on in Gaza. And they're tired of these politicians like Kamala Harris and Donald Trump putting the interests of foreign nations like Israel and Ukraine above the interests of the country which they represent, and they're running to be the presidents of the United States. So Jill Stein is the only candidate in the race who is offering an alternative on that key issue of Gaza, and it seems to be resonating with a lot of voters who would otherwise be voting for the Democratic Party. But instead of trying to convince those voters with policy and actually trying to talk to these voters and convince them to vote for the Democratic Party, instead of trying to do any of that, the Democratic Party rather release attack ads attacking the Green Party and attacking Jill Stein and shaming voters into voting against Jill Stein. That's the only strategy that the Democratic Party seems to have to win over Green Party voters. And this is going to be a key constituency that they're going to need if they plan to beat Donald Trump in this election. So let's get straight into this attack ad and see what kind of strategy the Democratic Party has against the Green Party.
Jill Stein, Green Party candidate for president. So why are Trump's close allies helping her? Stein was key to Trump's 2016 wins in battleground states. She's not sorry she helped Trump win. That's why a vote for Stein is really a vote for Trump.
Jill Stein, I like her very much. You know why? She takes 100% from them.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
And in this attack ad, you immediately see the Democratic Party contradict itself and anything that they've ever said about the Green Party. First of all, the Democratic Party constantly, and operatives like Mehdi Hasan constantly love to remind you that the Green Party can't win. Third-party candidates and third-party movements, they serve no purpose, they're useless, and they're just a waste of time and effort. But if they were just a waste of time and effort, then why would the Democratic Party be paying millions of dollars to push out and release this ad against the third-party candidate, Jill Stein? And then second of all, in this very ad, they blame Jill Stein for causing Hillary Clinton to lose in 2016. So if the Green Party was really so ineffective, if the Green Party can't get anything done, then how did they have so much power to cause Hillary Clinton to lose the election in 2016? It doesn't make any sense here. And then they try to make it seem like it's a bad thing that Donald Trump says that he likes Jill Stein just because she takes away votes from the Democrats. Well, number one, there's a reason that Jill Stein takes away votes from the Democrats. It's because the Green Party, what they actually represent is the Democratic Party's platform. Except that the Green Party, all these things that the Democratic Party pretends to care about, like climate change and ending wars and making people's lives better, the Green Party would actually deliver on that, while the Democratic Party just offers vague lip service and tries to gaslight voters into believing they're actually going to do any of that. But when the Democratic Party gets into power, all of these policy proposals and all of these great things that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden offer, they immediately get forgotten about and swiped under the rug. So that's why parties like the Green Party have room to exist and why they're taking so many votes away from the Democratic Party. Because Jill Stein is actually delivering and is actually sincere on promises that the Democratic Party can't keep.
Well, if anything, Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
If the Democratic Party was to actually deliver on issues like Medicare for all, like a living wage for all Americans, like ending these overseas wars, then I would have no reason to vote for the Green Party. But they can't deliver on these issues. They can only deliver for the top 1% and the richest people in the society and the war contractors. And so that's the only reason that the Green Party is getting all the support, is getting all these voters, because the Democratic Party no longer serves the interests of working class voters, and the Green Party does. And so the Democratic Party tries to gaslight you and tell you that a vote for the Green Party is a vote for Donald Trump, when in reality, a vote for the Green Party is a vote against genocide, is a vote against the Democratic Party. And if you give your support to the Green Party, well, now the Democratic Party knows that they have to come get your vote from over there, and they can't get it from attacking the Green Party like they did here. That's only going to make the Democratic Party lose the support of Green Party voters. The only way that the Democratic Party could get the support of Green Party voters is to actually deliver on these issues. And right now, the Democratic Party needs your vote in this election, not the other way around, especially with the razor-thin margins against Donald Trump. If the Democratic Party really believes that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, you would think that they would offer voters common sense policy positions that average everyday Americans agree on in order to win the election. But instead, all they have is bogus attack ads. And that's why it's so important to vote for the Green Party, because everybody who does believe in these causes, well, now we have a place to put our vote and to voice our causes. It gives a voice to millions of voters who aren't represented in this two-party system. And there's a lot of voters. There's 100 million people who stay home, who don't vote at all. And those people, they need a voice in this system. Right now, one of those voices can be the Green Party. But the Democratic Party wants to shut that down and make sure that there's only two options: preserve the status quo and make sure that something like this will never happen. Well, guess what? That's not going to be the case. And so, of course, the Democratic Party doesn't want you to know that there's an option in this election that is a woman, that is 10 times better than Kamala Harris. Of course, they want you to think that's just a vote for Trump, when in reality, voting for Kamala Harris, who is endorsed by 200 Republicans, who's literally endorsed by Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney, his daughter, who literally lied us into the Iraq war. It resulted in the death of over 1 million Iraqis. These are the Republicans that Kamala Harris is gloating and bragging about being endorsed by, but yet voting for Jill Stein is voting for Donald Trump. I feel like voting for Kamala Harris is closer of a vote for Donald Trump. And one last thing that I just want to mention here is that voting for Jill Stein, listen, Jill Stein, I know she doesn't have much of a chance of winning this election. I'm not going to try to lie to you and tell you that she does. The winner of this election is probably going to be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. But one thing I can tell you, the importance of voting for Jill Stein, is that if Jill Stein does get more than 5% of the vote in this election, she just needs a mere 5%, she gets public matching funds in 2028. And what that means for the future of the Green Party is that it's not as hard to get on the ballot in all 50 states. That means that the Green Party gets up to $100 million was the budget in 2024 for the public matching funds campaign, up to $100 million that will help them get on the ballot in all of these swing states, that will help them actually maybe put out some commercials and some ads advertising the Green Party that will actually help them get on a level playing field with the Democratic and Republican parties who have millions of dollars, should I say billions. And that's why the Democratic Party released this attack ad against Jill Stein and the Green Party, because Jill Stein and the Green Party have one thing that the Democratic Party doesn't have, and and that's actual genuine support. Actual grassroots movements who are willing to go to bat for the Green Party and its campaign, as opposed to the Democratic Party that just has a bunch of paid media operatives and fake celebrities coming out to endorse their movements. The Green Party has real supporters, and real supporters who are willing to make the case against genocide and for a greater future. So if the Democratic Party wants my vote, then they can come and earn it. And if I earned your support, make sure to like this video. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And make sure to subscribe to Wrestling with Politics. Thank you for watching this video.